with free bread and circus, known to be hella circus, swelling creatures, phone out speakers, emblems, talisman, callous hands. I ain't friends with them. I ain't friends with them.
Of ascending or descending line, those are more sensitive than those of any man that has yet. Those are more yet that have lives carved from the talk, which is hard, sweet, and fragrant. Hard as you will find quite other and much nicer smells. Provided you have an chorus and
That makes sense. It is customary to start a piece of this sort with a quote from a dead German dude. So I shall indulge. The history of all hitherto existing societies is the history of y'all's trouble to produce tires.
Friedrich Nietzsche, thus goes Zarathustra, page 108, Barthelme's Classic Edition.
See, I know what I'm doing.
Mandy, you stand outside the temple of the boob tube, misdirecting seekers to ask for Bob, and boof their pills so they get lost on the path to the mystery. But I smell what you're stepping in, and it is nothing. A metaphysical hyper-pooper mea. You tell us that dictionaries suck because ironing politics is a dirty vegetable you can't wash clean. Your entire system is a mere bacon stretcher, a hazing ritual for people who don't realize there are no bacon stretchers. Yes, find the metaphysical karma code in that one. Behold, Mandy's human... Wait. Fuck. Behold, Mandy's human! Damn it. Hang on. Behold, Mandy's goddess! It's not a plucked chicken, it's a rubber pink one. Wink. And it has more noses in its squeaky box than you have in your entire Sirius school of cynicism. You've spent 300,000 years selecting for purple patches in the beards of medicine while we were all just trying to drink the amber waves of grain. Saifusara, you are a sophist! According to Schopenhauer's 13 streams of Stratocasters, you are merely using sophistry, word-based bullshittery. I know. All to sell us a book you admit you've never read, even whilst you scribbled it. A skeleton key replete with its own voodoo soundtrack. A Rickroll set to hardcore music. Why? You're nothing but an influential internet troll who claims to have invented the joke when the joke is simply your whole Dr. Doom cake fat mask. You, who invoke Nietzsche as a pansexual performance artist to label everything from Gospels to my grandmother's curry recipe as satire. You have allowed yourself to be caught in a Schopenhauerian extension, carrying your opponent's propositions beyond their naturalized limits to find an odious category to place it in. A Pandora's box. You tell us no one has ever died from contradiction, but I suspect you are just a lactose-intolerant crybaby, projecting your grilled cheese regrets onto the tapestry of our fates. Yes. Here are your three heads of Cerberus, Mandy. Past, present, future. A future where Princess Medea is on a Burning Man road trip to Mars reading our book that is every inside joke you've never been a part of. Why, even a dog wouldn't understand you. Their minds are nostrils, while your words are just a lettuce salad with too much ranch dressing. Superman! Boosa! You aren't doing authentic catabasis. You are Eris's and Boosa with a hollow leg. A shape-shifting hound of Hecate playing a prank on Dionysus off stage while he poops his pants. You, this Deadpool of the ancient Greeks, only break the fourth wall because you're too scared. We'll see the toilet behind it. In the very words of my hungry grandmother, if you take a clown seriously, that makes you a fool. What does it make you if you take a satirist? Seriously, and don't call me Shirley. It makes you a victim of dragon's tongue. It makes you stung by the gadfly. Why, it makes you stabbed by the very teeth of Sirius. To use your own aristic dialectic, I know what I'm doing. Wash your legs, Mandy. Wash your hands. Hail Eris. Oh shit, that was fun. Hail Satan. So, Mandy, that was the power of satire. Of course, don't ask me. I didn't read the book.
So, was Mandy the Neonisco Sirius or?
Absolutely.
Oh my
That was
god.
that was a gift I constructed with him flashing constantly to try to like create a balance with the other visual glitches.
Awesome. Those
Yes,
Oh my
Mandy
God.
was the Neoniscos. He's right here. And
Okay.
most
Didn't
importantly, he has a purple seam on tied to it.
No, that's
Oh, and he's the
commitment to the
third
bit.
Neoniscos. Number
The
3.
third.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Very important.
Oh my
Beautiful.
god, that was fantastic. I love this this ritual we just came up with of starting the show with a very serious moment, and that very serious moment was brought to you by none other than the satirical miracle himself, Sirius 21. Thank you so much for that.
You are
Boing,
quite
boing.
welcome.
I'm Mandy Moorhall. This is my brother Skobie One, the Beat Some. You guys are tuning into episode 2 of Gluten Free Bread and Circus. We do the show once the first Friday of every month. Gluten Free Bread and Circus is a show where I invite my friends on to do a little bit of bibliomancy. We flip through a book that I've read that they've never read, and we see what happens. That's about as far as we have planned the show. Tonight's book that we are reading is The Power of Satire by Robert C. Eliot. And I have a very special co-host to the show tonight because one of the rituals is if you have read the book, you get to co-host the show. And the co-host tonight is the one and only Snappy.
All right.
Hello, everyone. Glad to be here with you all.
And for our panel tonight, who's about to obtain gnosis, we have the one and only Billy Witch Doctor. We have Grandpa Leather. What's up, Grandpa Leather? And Sirius 21. Snappy, I'm really happy that I got to have you on for episode 2 because you actually are a practitioner and a serious practitioner of bibliomancy, whereas I'm a satirical practitioner of bibliomancy. And I think, it would be a lot of fun for you as a serious practitioner to flip through a book about satire and to, see what comes out. Do you have anything you want to say about, this magical ritual that we're about to partake in tonight? Johnny, if you want to do that production thing.
Absolutely. So we're going to be doing bibliomancy, or from the Greek perspective, it's called sortes, and this is a ancient form of magic that originally began as lots, forms of lots, and then evolved over time. We have to remember that early books would be inscribed on sheets, usually leaves, right? So the earliest sortes that we have spoken of usually were involving Homer. They call it the Sortes Homerica, and it would be written on leaves, and you would scatter the leaves, and then you would pick it up at random and read a passage. Most famous and most well-documented forms of sortes, though, come from the much later in the Roman Empire. We have the sortes virgilianae that the emperors used to use. And of course, we have the consulting of the Sibylline books. And the Sibylline books were sacred phrases related to the Roman magical tradition. And there were gifts to the emperor from this mystical, magical woman. Really interesting stuff. But the sortes is a lot of fun. And basically what you do with the sortes is you just take any book, like we can take this one right here, flip to a page at random, and you invoke the spirit of inquiry, the muse. And then you say, send me a message. So here's our message. Ho, all citizens of this barbaric land, throw bridles upon your horses.
Nice.
So I guess we're the citizens of the barbaric lands, and we better get out of Dodge. We need to move.
Hell
Saddle
yeah.
up. And that was from, of course, Euripides.
Hell yeah. And so, some of the ways that we've thought, of kind of satirically doing this form of art, like, we've thought of taking and, letting dice decide which page we turn to, and, flipping a coin, or coming up with some numbers that are meaningful. For example, 23, 42, 138, 69. And so that's basically what we're doing for Gluten-Free Bread and Circus. That's what the show is about. And I've read the book and you've read the book, so we kind of know what to expect, whereas the panel, they don't know what to expect.
Right.
And having read the book and knowing kind of what we're going to be looking at, you have any like predictions that you want to make, or anything that you want to prepare the audience to expect to come out?
Okay. Yeah, for sure. So this is really fun.
Part of the reason that I'm asking that is because this is a book about magic, and we're doing a magical ritual to invoke the inquiry. So it's a book about magic that we're doing magic to. It's a very, very poetic and kind of I know I'm a silly Billy, but this is actually going to be a lot of fun. Robert C. Elliott, that's the one right there, Johnny. Yeah, sorry, did you get that? He's working on the technical things there. So Snappy, Johnny's going to do that thing where he makes you full screen again, and let the audience kind of know what to expect with this book. What do you think is going to come out, and make some predictions. Let's see if they come true. And okay, take it away.
The Power of Satire. This is a really great book, actually. I came across it about 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago now. Mandy introduced it to me, and we were first talking about satire. And I was aware of some of the satire from the Greek tradition and a bit of its history. But this is a really wild book because it gives you sort of the origins of satire, and it talks about a lot of that early Greek magical tradition, which is so wild. So you'll see satire arise out of the fertility rites of the great mother Demeter. You'll see satire kill people. You'll see really famous characters who utilize satire. This book also, it gets into a bunch of different cross-cultural comparisons. So we're going to see a lot of similar ideas in like the Arabic tradition, in the Irish tradition. And I expect that we're going to get a lot of really wild stuff that people are, a lot of, what do I want to see? I want us to see, some of these Greek trolls like Hipponax, and some of the more intense satire that actually causes violence. Because this magic was all about, in the earliest tradition, getting people to join the party. So the satire comes from the Greek word satyr, right? And the satyrs are a very complicated image within the Greek tradition, but within the ritual rites to Demeter, people would dress up as the satyrs and perform the phallic songs, where they would bring out these large wooden penises and they would dance and do all kinds of ridiculous stuff. But if you didn't participate in the satire, then you were part of the problem. You needed to get up and dance and be in this joyous, raucous body behavior, because the point of this was it was magic made to make the Great Mother orgasm. Because if the Great Mother orgasms, then the crops rise. So there's this whole big thing around that. So the earliest stuff you see is out of this tradition, young people trying to convince people to join in the party. Then it transforms, right? We're going to see there's this wild character, Archilochus. I know they're going to bring him up several times in the book, but he's a high priest of Demeter. And his story is that he's supposed to get married to this woman. And last minute, her husband or her father cancels the marriage. So what they do in response to this is they compose a satire condemning him and his daughters, and he reads this at the festival to Demeter. And it's such shaming energy, like it's such a shameful piece of poetry and song that the man and his daughters commit suicide. They kill themselves. And this just has like a reverberation across the tradition. So to cast a satire in someone is to cast the blackest of curses. Often the satire outlives you, you know. And we're also going to see a lot of the cynical magic. So I see people in the comments are talking about Diogenes, right? This with the cynics, it evolves into the diatribe, where you are chastising and you're casting the satire on your audience or on civilization, and you're condemning people that way. And then it evolves later into literature with Lucian, into the Menippean satire, with Menippus of course, as well, though nothing from him survives. And in the literature, this is where the book attacks you. You know, perfect example of this would be the works of someone like Jonathan Swift, or, you know, Lucian of Samosata himself, of course. But this is really, really important magical writing. Mandy and I actually did a whole long project. We went through like 20, 30 books. We have a whole PDF you could check out. And it's partially our conclusion that large parts of the Bible are satirical magic, designed to attack and shame the audience, designed, you know, and Jesus is acting as a cynic. He dresses in his toga like a cynic. He carries a wallet like a cynic, and he stands in the corner chastising people like a cynic. So, you know, he's a dog man. Yeah, at least partially, right? There's always more going on, I think, but you know, this explains some of it, and it's wild. But yeah, that's my rant about the power.
You know, we encourage the diatribe here. It's a, you know, it's a time honored art, and you're actually one of the best at it, which is why I love having you on the show. And, you know, having you, and, you know, being around you, and you know, I just wanted to kind of take this, you know, the first section of the show here to drive home to the audience that, like, I'm not making this stuff up. You know what I mean? This isn't like a random obscure book that, like, you know, only I've ever read. You know what I mean? This is one that if you like take the study of satire seriously, like, you kind of have to have read. Like, this is almost mandatory reading if you're a person who studies satire academically. And,
Foundational literature.
It's foundational literature. Yeah.
The
It's
core monograph.
Exactly. It's set the standard for the paradigm that exists right now, where, you know, people approach satire anthropologically, right? It's one of it, and this book came out in 1960. And I was watching a recent lecture about satire, and this brilliant professor here, Professor Judith, she actually uses the power of satire as, you know, as an example of the foundational literature for the academic study of satire. And you know, I have a bachelor's degree. Snappy has a master's degree. So we're gonna give somebody who has a PhD a moment to explain to you why this book is foundational literature, and why you have to read it if you want to be taken seriously as a person who says, "Oh, I know something about satire." Like, you know how to do it, great, but do you know about it? Right? Do you know the power behind what it is you're doing? So, without any further ado, somebody with a PhD is going to tell you why this book is awesome. Johnny, click the button.
It's hard to be very clear about whether or not it's a form of hate speech, but there have been literary critics who have been quite clear about the power of satire to wound. Robert Elliott is one of the critics I cited as being part of this idea, the canonical view. And his book, The Power of Satire, has been really influential. It's a really interesting, it's a book I like very much. He argues that satire has kind of anthropological origins, it predates written record, and it's associated with cursing, with magic, and with the sense that words have the power to do something, that there are incantations that Irish bards and prophets would use to make things happen. And he reports somewhat admiringly that two ancient Greek satirists, Archilochus and Hipponax, were supposed to have written satirical verses which were so powerful that they killed their targets. And I've come across some skaldic verses from Scandinavia, which are said to be so powerful, and they were recited to one of the many Norse kings, and all his hair fell out. And he was particularly distressed because it's all his hair. All.
There you go. So that's a person with a PhD who says that this ridiculous book that I've brought to the community and keep telling everybody to read is important. So before we get into it, any of y'all from the panel, Sirius, you got anything to say? Grandpa Leather, you got anything to say? Billy Witch Doctor, before we get started, you guys got anything you wanna say? Because Snappy and I have kind of gone on and dominated for 22 minutes. I was actually going for 23
well, now I'm
because I was
worried.
trying to be ironic
Very
and get
worried
23
for you, man.
minutes.
Are you gonna die? I did a 7-minute curse on you. Shit. Oh my god.
Well, the thing is, I know the antidote, which is very important because I have
Okay, well there
resolution.
you go.
Yes,
There you go.
and you also know the antidote, and you alluded to the antidote in your satire on me. So I appreciate
don't
you
give
for.
away the joke.
I'm not giving away the mystery. I'll give away the joke. It's forbidden to give away the mystery, but I'll give away the joke.
Okay.
I still don't understand the joke, so 10 books deep.
10. We're 11 books deep. We just put one out last month,
You're right.
a couple weeks ago.
Wait, there's a book?
There's a book. There's a
wow.
book. It's called the Towel of Minerva. Look at that thing.
Minerva? Oh wait,
Yeah.
there you go. That way.
There it is. There it is.
There.
Look at you with your links, Johnny. It's almost like we're
Wow.
professionals. It's almost like we're professionals.
Almost. So close.
Almost like we are professionals. Grandpa Leather, you got any words for any words?
Not at this particular moment. I'm really excited to dive in and hear about the origins of these beautiful hexes and spells and how we might be able to utilize them to this very day. It's a great time for tricksters.
Hell yeah, it is. Billy Witch Doctor, speaking of the trickster, if you would be anybody in the audience would be wise not to make any of Billy Witch Doctor's cocktails that are in the book because they are trickster cocktails.
Well, there's one with bone broth I thought really hard about making.
They're offerings. They're only offerings.
Exactly, they are offerings to the goddess, not meant to be consumed by you. And that's.
I mean, you can.
You can, but good luck.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. I'm really stoked to have all of y'all on the show
Y'all.
and about to experience this. And Johnny, without any further ado, I was trying to
this one
vamp.
down?
Yeah,
Oh,
put
you
the
just say that,
put the book on the screen, and we'll start. doing a little bit of what I call gluten-free bread and circus. Oh wow! Look that noise. Hell yeah! You want to put them on the bottom like they was before? Can we do that? Can we all be bottoms? Look at us all being bottoms. And then can you get the speechify off the screen? Yeah,
You don't want
no.
Just this.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and I was saying that if while we're doing this, what we're about to do is flip through the book at random and read it. And if you choose not to read it out loud, you can have the audio, the speechify lady do it for you if you would like. Most people choose to do it themselves, and the people who are participating in this ritual are you three down there, Sirius, Grandpa Leather, and Billy Witch Doctor. And we encourage the audience to participate and give suggestions for pages. So if you have it and you want to read ahead a little bit, take a look, give some suggestions. If you guys want to get creative with how you choose the page, if you want to get creative with do a random keyword search and say, hey, what does it say about this? And then we flip to the page. Let's get as creative with how we choose the pages as possible. And I was hoping that you were going to go to the front of the book.
Oh, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, go to the front. Go to the front. I know. I'm Johnny. I'm trying to be natural with how I give you suggestions, so it doesn't look like I'm bullying you.
Oh, you can't bully me. So
this thing is that people have said, Mandy Morhall's not being satirical when he bullies.
You can't bully your older
when he bullies Skobie Wan. He's just genuinely bullying him. And I go, okay, guys, I get it.
That.
Wasn't that part of the whole Punch and Judy effect?
What's that?
What about Punch and Judy? Like that's part of their dynamic, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
I
still don't think you can bully me. Good luck.
I'm letting you say that out loud so that the audience is aware of the dynamic.
But I don't see anything until page 11 like you had. So
what?
I don't see anything.
No, I'm just saying, just flip through the pages until we, so you can show the book to the audience. You know what I mean? Okay, let's go to the table of contents if you want to just flip through it. Go. There you go. So, take a look at the table of contents slowly for the audience, Johnny, because you also have everybody else who is reading it. Can you all see that? Everybody, you can see it, and if you want to read out loud, you can read it. Is the font big enough and all that? That's what this slow scrolling here is for, right? Great. Everybody, thumbs up. We can all read it. We can all see it.
Awesome. Travels,
perfect. Huh? Yeah, Johnny, you haven't read this book yet. One of these days.
Gulliver's Travels is one of the best satires ever.
Exactly. So check it out. We got about 300 pages that we can choose from, and I think without any further ado, Snappy, would you like to make the words are they elude me at the moment. Say words to the muse so that she can bring the words to my brain because I just had a brain fart.
Let's go with page number 13, the sacred number of Hecate. There you go.
Okay, so Snappy's gonna get it going. We're gonna take a look at page number 13, the sacred number of Hecate. We're gonna take a look.
Go from the first paragraph.
Exactly. We're on page 8.
Oh, you're there.
We're on page 13. Nice.
I think
Snappy, would you like to?
I think you need to go up a bit. I think you skipped ahead.
Page 12?
No, you're right.
And
go down, sorry.
To page 13.
And go to the start of the first paragraph, so a little bit lower. There we go.
Bam.
Okay.
All right, everybody. We're about to do a little bit of gluten-free bread and circus and obtain gnosis.
Okay, awesome.
There we go.
Hecate delivered well. Greek satirists who followed Archilochus were believed to have powers similar to his. Best known of them was Hipponax, the 6th century poet who wrote the first Chorlyambics, and to whom the ancients attributed mistakenly the invention of parody. Hipponax, it is said, was a small, misshapen man, sensitive about his appearance. Two sculptors, the brothers Bupalus and Athenas, made a statue of him, exaggerating his deformity and exposing it to public ridicule. Against the distortion of the image, Hipponax opposed the power of the word, but with uncertain results. A Renaissance translation of Pliny's account of the affair is colorful. Hipponax so cursed them with bitter rhymes and biting libels that, as some do think and verily believe, being wary of their lives, they knit their necks in halters and so hang themselves. Be sure this cannot be true. For, says Pliny, the sculptors survived the verses and went on to create images of the gods on Delos and elsewhere.
Holy shit.
I think that's good. What do you think?
Holy shit, Hipponax.
One of the people that hang themselves.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about Hipponax is that he was known for inventing new words. Like, that was his entire bit, was just making new Greek words, just putting weird shit together, bam, bam, bam. And that inspiration is how I came up with the concept of gnosis. Sirius, do you have anything you that jumped out at you? Any commentary on what was just read to you? Any ideas?
I don't know. I like the warning to avoid the terrible tomb right here. Mentioning that sleeping wasp. Not even Hades has lulled his spite to rest. Oh, the implication.
Holy shit, Grandpa! What are your thoughts? What did the muse deliver to you?
I was just thinking about clever sculptors and how even now to this day we're still doing that a body horror type humor, and how satire can even permeate into physical art forms.
One of the interesting things too about Hipponax is that he largely only survives as a parody now. So like you get all these really gross, distorted pictures of him. So the very thing that he was mad about and that he composed his poems against is what he's best known for besides killing people. So like I found this picture that will just to show you, if you want to share my screen here, Mandy. So this is a famous engraving from a Renaissance era book. If you bring it up on the bottom there.
Yep.
So yeah, this is how Hipponax survives to us from antiquity as a little troll man.
I wish I could zoom in more on that. Man, he does.
Oh, he's such a troll.
Does not
It
look.
looks like Coffee from New Jersey, Jersey's own.
I love that with the nose and the wart, and then like the extra lumps on the top of the skull. That's beautiful.
What do you know when this is from?
Who carved the coin?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so this particular picture, just let me go back here. So that is Hipponax from Guillaume Rieu's from Patari Econom Ignorinium. And this is a work from 1553.
Nice.
So this kind of
about portraits of famous characters from across history.
I feel like this is almost like equivalent exchange. He made satire maligning people that it came back to him, and it will continue for as long as we record history.
Absolutely right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like when you put that energy out or that magic out into the world, it comes around.
It's that the Ouroboros. It's the snake in its own tail.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Hipponax looks like his nose was trying to eat his own nose. It looks like his nose was trying to smell itself. The nose knows, but can the nose smell itself? You know what I mean? Like,
can the nose know it's the nose?
Right? Who we got next? Sirius. You want to pick a page? You want to pick let the muse deliver? How do you want to?
All right. So I think we'll start with a die roll.
All right.
All right, and that said 2, but my daughter's favorite number right now happens to be 6'7".
Mine too.
But if you multiply 6
7.
times 7, that equals 42.
Thank you.
So let's go to 24.
That was a fun time, fun road.
My daughter would.
Oh yeah.
I cannot wait to show her this tomorrow.
Oh gosh.
How much of this are we going to be able to show her?
Just that part.
Okay,
Just that part.
Just that part. 24, you said?
Yes.
24.
All right, Sirius,
All
take
right.
it away.
At the various times the poets aroused such hostility that the kings resolved to banish them, Geoffrey Keating, the 17th century Irish historian, records 4 such occasions. On one, which Cuchulainn came to the rescue of the Fíled and retained them. They are said to have numbered 1,000 and retained them for 7 years. Their best known intercession on behalf of the poets, however, was that of Columcille, Saint Columba. At the famous assemblage of the Drumceat in the year 575 A.D., King Ead was determined to banish the whole host of the Fíled, who had become intolerable in numbers, and, according to some accounts, in their exactions. But Saint Columba managed to appease the king, through his appeasement was stiffened by warnings of danger. What are these warnings? This is what I have read in the Circle of Science. Blessed is he who is praised. Woe is him who is satirized, O Ead. Fair the sap that is sucked from the noble sayings. Woe to the inconspicuous land that is satirized. The poets were allowed to remain in Ireland, their numbers considerably reduced, after they and the kings entered a solemn pact, which was ratified by the saints. This is terrifying.
Yeah.
This is almost like it's saying that the government conspired with the church to take hold of the media outlets and remove the comedians. Why, that would be ridiculous, wouldn't it?
It'll never happen again.
That
Oh,
would
no,
never
no.
happen.
What year was that? 574?
575 AD with King Ead.
That's a
King
long time ago.
Ead.
Why would they do that?
Oh man, we just like that's awesome because like we just got done talking about how it's cyclical. It just keeps happening and happening and happening and happening and happening. You know what I mean? Like
Not even death can get rid of it.
By the way, on his real soundboard, it would go comedy.
yeah, no, I've got you know a bunch of
It would be Narc.
yeah, I've got my soundboard here and it's not quite working yet. Oh, I do have a rim shot. Check that out. Nice. I've got an explosion too. I'm just, you know, we spent all last week clipping samples for this this thing, and then he couldn't get it to work, and then we sit down. He takes one little fucking wave of the magic wand, and the soundboard works, and now it doesn't have any of my samples. But next episode.
It's funny when you have collaborators to help with you. Go, hey, I can hear it now.
Yeah, I know, right? They could hear it,
Instead
but
of
you
me
couldn't,
sitting here-
right? Like you
sitting
were
here.
over there trying to do the explosion, and you know no one could hear the goddamn explosion. Can you guys hear the boing boing boing? All right. Anyway,
You know, you know what this reminds me of though is that the satirist is the one who brings justice, and everyone loves the satirist when they're not in power.
Yeah.
They sure do. They sure do.
But
Grandpa
that's
Logan.
always the way it works, right? The guys who aren't in power rail against those who are, and then when they get power, no more jokes, right? And it doesn't matter who gets in power; it seems to always wind up going that way, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like Saint Columba allegedly read in sciences.
He did.
Beware
He said that.
being satirized.
He said, I read in the sciences, and I don't like the sciences. Sounds
Yeah.
pretty familiar.
Well, it just makes me like, have you guys been following this ridiculous thing that happened with that comedian Drewski recently? Just to, like, bring it
Oh,
to-
yeah.
to the present?
Which one?
Well, you
He's
know,
always
they,
The most recent.
his conservative women of America skit where he dresses up like Erica Kirk and is like stared at the camera and we say our prayer. Like it's great satire. But that
It's
has caused such an
incredible.
outrage. It's caused such an outrage, and the same people who were like 3 years ago, you know, yelling about the woke mind virus are now trying to silence this dude. It's hilarious. The hypocrisy is just it's choice, you know.
Well, that's just like when he embedded himself with the like the hillbillies, like at a race, right? Like,
Yes, I saw that
he
one.
dressed up as a white person, put a white person tattoo on and everything, and he's
Yep.
like, "What up, girl?" And like he like really put it on, and like
He's fantastic.
It was the amount the commitment to the bit was absolutely amazing. Like.
So
Did not break.
I don't know this person. Is this like a Borat
Drewski?
situation?
No, Drewski's like I don't know. I don't know if he's a rapper or
a
I don't
YouTuber?
really
I
know.
don't
No,
TikTok.
He's a TikToker
I'm not
kind
on
of guy.
TikTok.
Yeah, he's on
But
YouTube too.
He's on
Okay.
YouTube. Yeah.
Okay.
But
I
you
would
you
love
should
to
got
play
you got to
with
check out this conservative woman's. He did his research. It's really good satire. You know,
it's incredible.
And then the makeup team is astounding, right?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
So are like is what he's going for like trying to be as accurate as possible, or is it like over the top caricatures? You know what I mean? Like
It's a little bit of both. Like
Yeah, he's dancing
at
the
one point
line.
where
Okay.
it's like just straight up being her. Like he's talking to the camera. He's like, "We love Jesus and we pray for the dying children," and then he stares at the camera just like she does, and you're like, "This is ridiculous." You know?
Yeah, he
Sorry, he's a black dude. He's hefty. He's
Yeah.
I've gathered that. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gathering from the context. That's why I'm
fucking
letting you
amount
talk and
of
I'm listening.
makeup that they put on to make him look like completely
I get it.
unrecognizable. Like,
But yeah,
man.
in the skits he always puts his toes over the line, so you know he's fucking with you.
Yeah.
Just
so
just
like,
the toes.
Oh, he
right.
screamed
So
at a-
like. At one point, they're doing all these like exercises, and he's like flopping all over himself, you know. So there's that kind of, you know. But then there's
Yeah.
other moments in it where you're like, this is just what happened. Like he's dancing to fireworks, and you're like, she just did that. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's that you know, that punching up. You know what I mean? That always you know, just that punching up and you know, the tradition doesn't always punch up. It punches down at times, but that puts you in the position as a satirist to be satirized. You know what I mean? And you know, if you're going to try to punch down, like, guess what, guys? Like, there's a lot of other satirists that just, you know, you opened yourself up to being punched down. And satire is like a knife fight. So you're getting your legs swept, you're getting your head you're getting, you know, they're swinging padlocks, like whatever it takes, you know what I mean, to, you know, separate a person who is doing satire negatively as opposed to a person who's doing satire positively. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to end up as a Nazi doing, you know, Nazi satire. You can end up like a, you know, a Nazi Hippanax, Himmler Hippanax. You know what I mean? You can end up like that, right? Like, yeah, there you go. I was waiting for the
Himmler
news to deliver.
Hippanax.
Yeah, the news just delivered that one. You saw it. This is why we're doing magic. You watched it live. The news delivered Himmler Hippanax. So like, you know, that concept didn't exist yet, but like we have
Now
that.
it
Hang on.
Right.
We have that. His name's Sam Hyde. Sam Hyde is Himmler Hippanax. You look at Sam Hyde next to the Hippanax coin. Fucking nailed it. Bam. Himmler Hippanax, Sam Hyde. Fucking, I'm gonna put it in the book. I'm gonna write an essay about it. This is why we do the magic. This is why we do the magic.
But you know what's so great about that particular satire by Drewski, right, is that it's the right character too. You know, some people are just so like. Satire works best when everyone wants to see someone fall and everyone is weirded out. And that's the thing. Everyone is uncomfortable with Erica Kirk. Even the far right who wants to love her and defend her, they have to admit it. The person is creepy as F. Like, you know, it's just...
I think it's funny you did Himmler. Say it again.
Himmler Hippanax.
Himmler Hippanax.
It's also a visual
Hippanax.
joke.
Well, but
If you
Himmler
know what
was
Sam Hyde
really,
looks like.
really into Atlantis. Like that was his side project.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his thing. He really believed it.
And Nietzsche
You
said
mean
that
North America? You
No,
mean
no,
the
he-
parody like that Plato didn't even finish?
Yeah.
Like,
And everybody knows that Nietzsche said Plato was doing god awful Menippean satire. He was like, he's trying to do this stuff, but he's not good at it. And Nietzsche says, hold my opium. I got like hold my. I don't. He didn't really do drugs very much. He wasn't like a drug guy. Hold what did?
no, he was a big brute. He's the wrestler guy. He's the
You
guy
like
who has
Gluten?
cauliflower ear. That is literally
Wait,
who
Plato
is.
had cauliflower ear?
Yeah.
of course.
Damn.
He was arrested.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
so you're
it's
saying
just
he's the
ridiculous.
Undertaker telling us stories?
Well,
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes, exactly.
professional wrestlers actually a really good way of looking at this is that
Yeah.
these philosophers, the Greek philosophers, were putting on a show, right?
Yeah.
And what was being recorded, like I don't know if you've ever been in a philosophy class, but there's lectures that are giving in conversations and all that like that doesn't get recorded in that professor's book when they go and they write a book.
Right.
You know what I mean? There are certain books that are like that, but that's not what these symposiums are. The symposiums are like recreations and like theatrical presentations of conversations that took place that had a purpose and like they were trying to get a message across. And Nietzsche said that what Plato was doing was really bad Menippean satire. He wasn't good at it, right? And if you think about how that applies to, all of these people that take Atlantis seriously, it's like, wow, you guys don't know that like you're building your entire worldview on what Nietzsche said was really bad satire. It's like the people who
It's also okay. It's also just ridiculous. Okay, like all of this stuff. It's like if you just go read Timaeus, go read Critias. Those are the two dialogues that mention it. It's mostly exclusively in Critias, and this is a late, unfinished dialogue. He didn't even finish it. And if you listen to him, what does he say? He says it's beyond the pillars of Heracles,
Yeah.
and it's the size of Asia and Africa combined. He's talking about North and South America.
And it's
He's talking
insurpassable
about
by
indigenous
mud,
people.
right?
That's it. That's it. And it's nothing. Besides, it's an allegory because he's using it as an allegory for nations and to talk about the hubris of nations. It's just philosophy, Anyway, it's just something that annoys the heck out of me with all these people who get like, of all the things, Atlantis and Lemuria, like these are so dumb.
Snappy, if you talked to me 5 years ago, I would have told you I believe 100% in Atlantis.
Are you going to tell me you believe in Tartaria too? Like, please.
See, I didn't know what that was. So.
Okay. You don't know that one? That one is one of the more ridiculous ones I found out through the Discords. Because, like, it's this whole belief that, you'll see in a lot of places throughout Europe, especially, where these older buildings, in some places in the US even, they've had to, like, build on top of older buildings.
Yeah, totally.
So then they have this whole thing. They believe that there was like a flood and like half of the world was buried and that there used to be a great society in the middle of Asia in the steppes, but it got buried under the mud. Like, ridiculous nonsense.
None of that's true, and none of the archaeological, geographical, none of it supports that. Literally nothing supports it. And it's
nothing supports
crazy.
it. But, this is how this stuff also survives. Like, one of the things, one great piece of satire and political satire that is kind of wild that I always like to tell people about is Lemuria. Are any of you guys familiar with Lemuria?
I love Lemuria. It is such a fun idea.
So Lemuria originates in early biology and before we fully understand plate tectonics. So what it is early biologists and saw that they had lemur type animals in Madagascar and India. And so they're trying to understand how you could have this. And so they imagine that there must have been an island or a land bridge. So they came up with this idea of Lemuria. But now with modern plate tectonics, we understand and there is no possibility of an island. There is no Lemuria. It's not a real thing. But the British love to do this thing of displacement. In order to do their colonialism, what they'll do often is they'll tell these narratives where the indigenous people of a place are not indigenous, they're actually from somewhere else. And they utilized a lot of mythology in order to do this. And so when they went into the south of India, the South Indians have a wealth of mythology about these island nations. And they believe they come from these island nations. So the British, they hopped onto these myths, combined them into this idea, the pseudoscience of Lemuria, and they basically started claiming that the South Indians were Lemurians. And like, you guys aren't from here, we can kick you the F out of India. And like, this sounds ridiculous to us right now, but remember, this is the same shit they did to the indigenous people in North America. They said, you are the lost tribe of Israel, and therefore we can take your land. And it's just as ridiculous on the face of it,
Currently, they're attempting to take away their citizenship in the United States, saying that they have no
birthright.
Yeah, no birthright.
Yeah.
When it's like, well, I'm sorry, weren't they the people that tried to let the pilgrims know how to not die in the fucking winter, that they also beheaded, and that's why we have Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And that shit happened, right down the street from the studio. Right down the street from the Safe Room studio, right outside.
Actually, it's about 3 miles away from here.
Yeah,
it's
right down the
far.
I'm telling you, it's history that's right in our back door.
Yep.
And
I take my kids to that park, actually.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's super fucked up. They made a really nice park, though.
I mean,
fuck.
Yay.
Yay. A land acknowledgement.
But this is one of those weird things about satire. Satire is inextricably related to both religion and politics, so it just gets covered in shit all the time. And it does nonsense like this. Like that, the satire in America, right, eventually turned into Mormonism. Like
Yep.
But it also turned into Discordianism and hilarious. So it has its ups and its downs.
No, for sure. It's just wild. It's just wild, for sure.
Hell yeah.
Sorry, Snappy. I could talk to you for hours about Atlantis because I was so deep that I really, really honestly believed it 5 years ago. And it took Mandy coming home and seeing me watch some
Did
Graham
you read
Hancock.
Critias? Did you sit down and read Critias?
No, I didn't read it before. I did read it. I sat in my nice green chair where you guys heard me snoring one night, reading Plato, and I took about 3 pages of Timaeus, not Critias, because once you read Critias, he kind of goes into like the structure and what the expectations were. Timaeus starts with like, oh, this is how the world was invented. And it takes like fucking 20 pages before he gets to Atlantis. And it's like, okay, anyone who believes this after this is completely full of shit. And they do the wink, wink, nudge, nudge. This is a true story. By the way, the other guy...
Happened to a friend of mine, right?
By the way, the other guy who heard the story isn't here because he was fucking hookers or is really hungover. We don't know. Like, they don't tell you which one is which, but it's definitely alluded to, like, he's disimposed today. He can't come. Like, he was here yesterday. That's in the first 2 pages, by the way. And that's Socrates going, hey, where's this guy? Oh,
I think he's talking about Aristophanes.
I don't know who.
Where is Aristophanes? Aristophanes.
So I never read the other 3 ones. I never read the ones before it. I've only read
the one before
Critias
it. So check it out. The one before it, that's important because it picks up where it left off.
I should read it. But,
The one before it, there's like this poetic moment where the last 2 people that are standing at the party are Comedy and I think it's a Comedy and Socrates. So Aristophanes and Socrates, or it's Comedy and Philosophy. It might be another one. I'm blanking on it because it's mostly focused on Aristophanes. But Aristophanes is important to that, and it picks up as a reference to Aristophanes. So if you didn't read it before, you were going to miss that reference, right? Which is one of these things that indicates that you're reading a form of Menippean satire when you're reading Plato. Is that it's self-referential, and there's layers of the self-referencing where if you miss the poetry where how it left off with comedy and tragedy being the final 2 people at the symposium, you're not going to get the reference that Socrates' philosophy, where philosophy picks up, is recognizing that the comedy is hungover. right? Like that's part of the joke, and what's left and not and unsaid is what happened to tragedy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're pointing out comedy is hungover and it's not here, which is it's like there's nuance to that irony that Socrates is demonstrating, right? Socrates is saying comedy on stage, that on stage stuff, it's not here right now. What you got is Socrates, who's doing like a Diogenes cynic dog like thing. Socrates is known for swearing by the dog, which he says is Anubis, right? So he swears by Anubis. Socrates swears by the dog, right? It's an allusion to Plato referencing the cynics, but not saying Diogenes, because they're kind of presented in this kayfabe of Greek literature and the Greek corpus as being opposing forces.
It has to do also with this
so it's a professional wrestling thing. So there's a certain amount of shit talking that goes unnoticed, where Socrates swears by the dog and is kind of this fill-in character for the cynics that aren't really present at the party.
It's also it's also this Hecatic magic stuff, right? You got to remember that the dogs and the cynics, the people who chastise society, and the fools are all blessed of Hecate, because they fulfilled that role of justice. They fulfilled that role of the outsider. They say this numerous times. Hecate sends the dogs. She sends the dogs to prevent people from turning into cacodemons. Really? And like when they're talking about the dogs, they're talking about people who are living like, a Near Eastern equivalent would be like a bodhisattva. That's how you have to view a Diogenes. Right? He's not just a troll. He's more like a bodhisattva. He's someone who's trying to get us back in tune with the real world and to live a just life. And they're making these karmic sacrifices as well. That they're saying that they're going to fight against society for all eternity. Right? To be a dog of Hecate, that's what you're doing. It's Hecate is the noose of the mind of the moon. And she comes to bring that wild, dog magic.
And the Bodhisattva, if I remember correctly, was into like grounding themselves, right? Like trying to get back into touch with nature and not be so caught up in everything else. Or am I missing?
So the Bodhisattva is a type of, it's someone who has yet to achieve Buddhahood, but is on the path to being a Buddha. But the reason why they fail, or I shouldn't say fail, the reason why they aren't becoming a Buddha is because of their profound compassion. What they've done is they've committed to the path of compassion and to be a teacher. So a bodhisattva would be someone like this, the Dalai Lama claims to be a bodhisattva, someone who incarnates for the purpose of serving humanity. So they stay in samsara, for the purpose of helping people, and bringing us back to that, a lot of this Buddhism stuff comes out, right? It's happening at the same time, and there is a Greek Buddha. The Bactrian culture, like all of this is intertwined, right? It's hard to say where the cynics are borrowing from both East and West. It's hard to say what comes from where, It's wild stuff, When you read the Greek sources, they call the Buddha a cynic.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah,
they view him as one of the dogs.
It was Pero was the skeptic cynic that was on.
He's an actually enlightened Buddha, Pero. So Pero actually went all the way to Nepal, studied in the Buddhist thing and got enlightenment, and then came back. And he studied and had his own philosophy school.
Yeah, he was the founder of skepticism, right?
Yep.
I'm sort of vamping a little bit because we were going to bring the book back up and then it popped up off the screen, so we'll get it coming back here.
Yeah, Pero is one of the more interesting
And
characters.
He was like what is he, a scribe or something like that for Alexander the Great, and when Alexander the Great went out to what we know as Pakistan now, that's where like they kind of set their their foothold, and then from Pakistan,
Bactria.
Bactria, yeah.
Hero, yeah.
Yep.
Of Ellis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really.
I didn't realize he went all the way to Nepal. That's cool.
That's the claim. That's the claim. So he claims to have studied with the Sakyas, and so this would be the Buddhist family, right? His clan, and they were the rulers of modern day Nepal. So that's as far as he could have gone, right? But again, right, you're talking with myth. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
But he's clearly went to the East and studied in the East. That much is certain. But this is also like a magical trope. You hear about all these characters who go study with the Brahmins, like famously the contemporary of Jesus. What's his name? Apollodorus or Apollonius. Sorry, Apollonius of Tyana. He studies with the Indians. He studies with the Brahmins. And he also studies in Babylon, so this is one of the things that they all call him a magi and say he's a magician and that he's practicing black magic, and he's trying to refute this, like in his gospel. He has his own gospel, by the way.
Yeah.
And in his gospel, yeah, it's called the gospel.
This is the good word.
Okay. It was his good word, right?
Yeah,
because it's about trying to rehabilitate him and largely say that he's not a magician. But this is kind of a losing thing because he went and studied in Babylon. Just like Jesus, the early Greeks saw these guys as magicians,
Mm-hmm. I hear you. Johnny, you want to put that book back up on the screen?
Yes,
and
sir.
We'll have Grandpa Leather pick a page number. How do you wish to pick this page number, Grandpa Leather? Do you want to flip a coin? Do you want to pick at random? Is there a number that's meaningful to you? Is there a number? How do you choose to go about this?
Well, now that I'm back on the bottom, my favorite chatty bottom request would be 169, please.
169. Hell yeah. So while
gotta watch your
Skobie Wan's on this journey here, this odyssey to page 169, I want to remind everybody to like and subscribe and do all that YouTube stuff to help the algorithm. Toss a couple of Cerberuses in the chat. That triple-headed dog.
Man, I have never used this Internet Archive before.
We used it.
No, I just never had to.
Last month, and then we used it. You've never personally used it for your own purposes.
Yes, that's
right. Wow, let's take a look. What page are you at right now, Johnny?
153.
153. A couple more clicks. Clickety clackety. Oh, I got a soundboard. See, this is when the soundboard comes in handy in the
169.
Nailed it. This is when the soundboard comes in handy. I remember that. Now that I have it now.
Misanthropes.
All right. Without any further ado, Grandpa Leather. Do you want to read it? Would you like to have the robot read it to the audience? What do you choose to do? What are you thinking?
I would love to read it. See if I can still read. I'll start with the first full paragraph on the page. So it starts with butt weather. Butt weather 169.
Butt weather.
Chatty bottoms.
Clip it. Butt weather.
Butt weather. Butt weather with Grandpa Leather.
Butt weather with Grandpa Leather.
But whether the play characterized as a comedy or as something else depends in large part on which the sides the critic is committed to. For Goethe, who thinks of
Goethe.
Oh, Goethe. Yeah, here we go.
We need to have a thing so when Goethe comes up, when people say Goethe, we have a bit that because that's.
It's a hard one.
No, 100%. 100% of people. 100% of people screw it up, and I was like, "Oh, is it gonna happen?" And it happened.
Yeah, no, So this happens to me a lot when I'm reading often. I've never heard the name pronounced, so I just make up a name. So for Gertie,
As do most.
Gertie,
who thinks of Al as pure and noble spirit doing battle against a corrupt society, the play is a tragedy. The theme of Timon, not featuring Pumbaa, seems comic in comparison, he wrote. So, it is for... I'm also reading this off cell phone screen. Brontier, Le Misanthrope, and... Yep. Are tragedies, bourgeois, which Molière vainly tried to force into the framework of comedy. Most of Bertie, 19th century colleagues concur, particularly the Romantics, who, like Rousseau, saw themselves as Alceste?
Yeah.
Yeah, as Alceste. On the other hand, critics who decide the Philenti speaks... Anybody? Phil speaks with Moliere's voice, that he stands for... Filthy Phil stands for the familiar certitude of Moliere's world. Tend to see the play as an amusing comedy in which Alceste is a kind of humor character whose excess is laughable. Others characterize it as a satiric onslaught on society. The permutations, they're endless.
Wow.
I love that last line.
Holy shit.
All right, so I got lost. There's a
No,
lot
no,
of
I was
French fucking names.
following along the entire time. Do you want to take a sip of this?
Beautiful. Nope.
Oh, well, you'll follow along if you take a sip of this.
No,
if
I
you're
will
on,
fall asleep
if
in
you're
that.
no, if you were on the Starflower, that would have been way more entertaining because
fall asleep
everybody was
immediately.
like, "Damn, that was the perfect
I'm
place." to end it."
Skobie for a reason, dog.
Yeah,
Can't
and
do that.
you're on the Starflower, but that was great because it's like basically what what I got out of that is that depending on your perspective, the satire can be like it can mean so many different things to the same audience. You know what I mean? Is that what y'all got out of that? Like,
I got some interesting things to add. Can I be a super nerd here because I love
Be a
Goethe?
super nerd.
Be a super nerd.
Okay, so this actually comes from Goethe's play Alceste, which is a retelling of Euripides' tragedy Alcestis, right? And this is about this. There's this king named Admetus, and the whole thing with Admetus is he's cursed to die young, and so he winds up convincing his wife Alcestis to volunteer in his place, but like he's gonna have to sacrifice her, so he's overwhelmed with grief. In the Euripides, Heracles comes up and he intervenes and rescues her, right? Whereas in Goethe, it's this whole like tension between like, do I let her die for me or and get to live, or do I kill her and get it's ridiculous. And he takes a tragedy and turns it into a comedy. He totally flips it all on his head. His version's also much shorter, but it's fun.
Thanks for the synopsis. That's great.
So I definitely see this kind of idea what they're getting at. When in this particular play, like Goethe's satirizing everything. He's satirizing the Greek tradition. He's satirizing he's flipping everything on its head. So it's a really interesting kind of piece.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely pertains to our previous conversation about that particular comedian. Some people might say that his comedic retelling of these current events, they're biting, they're scathing criticisms, while other people might just see it as good old fashioned humor. And it kind of reminds me a lot of the court jesters and how supposedly they were able to tell the truth sideways as to not get their heads cut off, but they're providing a valuable critique to the king and the court and society as a whole.
Absolutely. The comedian and the satirist forms a tension relief, right? In many ways, and they get to enact justice, right? Or they're a form of enacting justice, right? Through the spoken word, right?
It's like a guillotine with a rubber blade.
What? Sorry, we have a. I'm a super fan of Chase the Face, so like, him being on our talk is amazing to me.
Yo.
Yo, Chase.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Billy Witch Doctor, any thoughts? Anything pop in your brain? What's going on in that noggin of yours?
Honestly, just I mean, like I said, that last line just kind of like perfectly ended that little bit there. Is that yeah? The options are endless. You can add satire to just about anywhere. Can you get away with it? This is the question.
If you run fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What are you running from?
Don't let him put you in a warm bath, with henbane and.
Yeah, that's how
Exactly.
you fall asleep for like a week, and they put you in a cave, and then put things in your butt, and and then you actually see Cerberus, and how many penises Cerberus has, and why
Socrates,
Socrates knows how many penises Cerberus has,
He
and
does.
Socrates knows
That's
why that's a trick joke. That's a trick joke.
So is that what Burning Man is?
Oh,
I was about to say I've
Honest
paid
Tuesday.
for that before. People are getting that for free.
I mean, it'll cost you your ego.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Wait, have you, Grandpa Leather? You've actually been to Burning Man, right?
I mean,
can you not
I've
say
definitely
that?
lit some wicker men on fire, but I
Oh.
can't say I've ever done it in the desert with a bunch of tech billionaires.
I can't remember. Somebody I know was like, we have to, I think it was you actually. Like, we have to get you to Burning Man just so we can get like a sober, only drinking like perspective of what's going on. Because I'm not.
Yeah,
eating
no,
anything out there.
I definitely think that would be appropriate. Because the people that I've come into contact with that have been to Burning Man have been a little bit too overzealous about the whole thing. Maybe sniffing the farts, drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit too much,
No way.
sampling the communion kukion.
Limp Bizkit.
Bukukion.
Oh, sorry.
Bukukion.
I missed-
Bukakion.
oh, no,
Somebody write that down.
Bukakeon?
Bukakion. Somebody write that down. That's got to go in the book.
Oh,
That's
God.
what Limp Bizkit was. They were bukakiing on.
Yeah, but you dip the biscuit in the kaikion, and then
Kaikion's
everybody stands around it.
There's too
And the
many
last-
sexual fluids in this stuff,
That's all.
guys.
So was that the hot dog flavored water?
That's the point. It's got all of the
My
it's got all of the
goodness.
dynamic. Hey guys, hang on. Did we just reveal the secret to the mystery? Were they doing this the whole time?
Probably.
Did I
what's in the
just
box?
find out about the secret to the mystery? Were they doing bukakion the entire time?
I don't want any
Someone
part
call
of it.
Carl Ruck. Bukakion. Somebody. write
Maybe that's
that
why
down.
everybody went crazy at that Woodstock.
That would make sense with all the shit in the mud and.
Boroboros, dude. Boroboros and the bukakion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Woodstock
Those
99, bro.
those
That's what it
porta
was.
potties, man. And the goddess of the porta potties is Cloaca, which
Like, the things
You
the
love
turtles
you,
bring
yeah.
out of their butt.
You guys freaked out when I brought that goddess.
You say cloaca?
the goddess of the porta potties,
She's
the goddess of the
goddess
toilet,
of the main
is
sewer. There's this in ancient Rome. There's a main sewer. Her name is Cloacia. Yeah.
Snappy.
Yeah. The one hole.
the one hole.
hole.
Chicken. Sirius,
how
squeeze the chicken.
turtles
Squeeze the
breathe.
chicken. Squeeze the chicken.
That's how turtles breathe out of their ass. It's called a cloaca.
Yes, and chickens have cloacas.
Chickens have
Not these
cloacas.
ones.
Yes, all birds do.
one
They have a
hole.
single
No.
purpose chute.
Are you saying
No
turtles
hole.
are birds?
No hole.
Talk
Turtles
about
have a
satire
cloaca.
shit.
They can
I
breathe
like
through their
turtles.
ass.
I like turtles.
I read too many books with my daughter. I'm so confused right now.
You read books
Snakes have
about how
cloacas
turtles
too,
breathe
man.
out their ass?
Yes, it's called a cloaca.
Yeah, Cloacina. Sorry, Cloacina. Yeah, she's Etruscan. Cloacina.
That's too close.
Right?
You can
Yeah.
easily mess that one up.
Goddess of sanitation, right? She was the main
She's a
giant
goddess.
sewer in Rome.
She's waste management.
Yes.
Waste management. Yep.
I love her. Is she orange? Because that would be really appropriate.
Oh, I don't know.
Orange or blue.
Well, you know, a lot of these goddesses like this are connected to a lot of the divinatory rites and a lot of the death stuff. There's a lot of wild black curse stuff, right? Because this is all, yeah, you're getting into the boundary stuff. You're getting into the sulfur stuff. And, you know, huffing the fumes, the sulfur fumes is another thing. Like,
hey, we do that
so
today.
She's another one of these occulted goddesses who gets referenced in some weird stuff. Cloacina. Yeah.
You guys don't want to go poop in a bottle and smell it 3 days later?
No thanks.
Jenkum? No, that was never satire. No, that was never satire. Jenkum wasn't satire.
What's a
Jenkum jeans are bad.
It's true. It's a real thing. Jenkum is the burning purple. If you have ears to hear and noses to smell, Jenkum is the burning purple. That's going in the book.
We're dealing with threshold things, right? So we're getting back into that underworld hecatic magic as always, you know. But it's wild and fun, you know.
Jenkum is the burning purple. Why didn't I think of that until now? Oh my god, that's so funny. God damn it. I just thought the entire thing was about that it was a dwarf, but now Jenkum is the burning purple? Oh, it makes the joke so much funnier, dude.
I also used to clean up after music festivals and house parties, and I had to clean up a person's black puke. It was the worst thing ever. It was so gross.
That might have been mine.
No, I know exactly who it was. He has the same disease as the Watergate guy. He was a president. He has this certain disease where like his vomit is black.
Alcoholism.
No, well yes. But yeah, oh my god. Anyways,
oh my god.
It's fun to actually relate to people in the comments instead of hating on Mandy. Dude, sometimes we go on a stream and everyone hates you.
The thing is that's so funny is that like I was on Gnostic Informant earlier.
I know.
And like people were commenting that I'm like twitchy and like I'm doing this, but like guys, I'm putting on a character. You know, like, I'm doing a bit. You know what I mean? Like very clearly when I'm out here doing writing mode, letting fucking Himmler, Hipponax, and Bukakian and fucking.
I don't know if they let us put that on.
Jenkum is the burning purple.
Yeah, and the Jenkum is the burning purple. Man, somebody's got to write this down.
I mean, the permutations, they're endless. It's right there in the text.
That's what I'm saying. I'm demonstrating what the text is saying about satire. Like, I'm trying to demonstrate the artistic mode of, like, what it's like to let the muse deliver. Because, like, the muse just delivered the words, the logos. I don't know what it's going to turn into. You know what I mean? I don't know what it's going to turn into yet. But, like, the permutations are endless. Like, Billy Witch Doctor, do you want to take it away? How do you want to pick your page? Do you want to flip a coin? Do you want a keyword search? Do you want to what's the muse delivering? This is a lot of fun.
You think about that?
Oh, you know what? Let's do a keyword search.
Ooh, you want a keyword search? Johnny, pull up that little
that sounds interesting.
What keyword do you want to look for?
The first instance of the word fresh.
Fresh. Let's take a look and see what it says about the word fresh.
Butterscotch.
Why'd you put it in quotes?
Oh, not a single.
No, he fucked it up. Why is it in quotes there?
No, sorry, in case you didn't know how to use actual databases.
Wow, the word fresh does not occur once.
Sometimes the Internet Archive can be weird. Try just searching a common letter, because sometimes with these PDFs, if they're not properly encoded, you can't search anything.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. It is working.
All right.
Thanks, Mandy.
Okay, so no fresh.
No fresh. Not fresh. Not
That's
so clean.
wild.
Nothing.
Wow.
Wow.
You got FRE, but no fresh.
No. Let's just keep rolling. What else do we want to? Let's keep moving. What do we want to see next?
Yeah.
What do you want to see next?
I know. I'm trying to think. Gold.
Kinky.
Let's go gold.
Interesting. Ooh, page 22.
Oh, we got something.
We got something.
You like that, man.
Pull up page 22. Let's take a look at what this book has to say
Solid
about
gold.
And take that little button. Scroll over to that.
Yellower than gold, the points of teeth.
So the audience can see the whole thing. It's easier to read.
Yeah, no, I'm still figuring this out. I
Okay.
wish it had.
Well, the thing is, we've been muting this part, so this is the third time we've done this, so I'm breaking.
I wish it had a fucking.
The bit is that it's the fourth time that we've done this, so I'm metaphorically breaking the fourth law.
How far back do you see what
Exactly.
Do you see what I did there?
I do.
Do you have a toilet?
Okay.
Actually, I was going to go take a piss.
Would you like to start at the last paragraph? It keeps going and going.
Well, I want to read the. There you go. Right. I'll start at the major function. The major function of the Phelid, was the familiar one of Laus, a vituperatio.
Nice.
Praise and blame. It may be the duality of the office is indicated symbolically in story form. Cormac's Glossary, a compilation of the 9th or 10th century, about the bard Thenchan Torpis, chief poet of Ireland. The tale goes that Thenchan and his retinue of 50 poets, all dressed extraordinary in magnificent, were setting out on a pleasure cruise. Man, the numbers and richness of costume testified to the prestige of the poet. A foul-faced gilly insisted he be taken along. His aspect was unbelievably hideous. When anyone would put his finger on his forehead, and a gush of putrid matter would come through his ears on his poll. Rounder than a blackbird's egg were his 2 eyes, blacker than death his face, and swifter than fox his glance, yellower than gold the points of his teeth, greener than holly their base. 2 shins bare, slender, 2 heels spiky, black speckled under him. He shouted mightily to the Senchan, I should be more profitable than the proud and wanton crew that is around thee.
Jeez. Snappy, you've read this. What the hell is he talking about?
It's a gross motherfucker.
Yeah, man.
They're talking about the Irish tradition, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is the gross mother. This is I don't know. You know, a lot of these poets they're not savory people, you know? Mm-hmm. They're people who can wield this kind of magic, right? Think about it. It's a lot of it is so much about satire can be also used to empower the self, right? And can be used to transform a person into something. You know, you see this with a lot of these characters. They put on the costumes, they have all of this ridiculous regalia, and it's all about creating an image, right? Mm-hmm. It's glamour magic. Just as they cast a form of glamour magic on others, you know, in order to make them appear hideous, or to make them, you know, to shame them, or to guilt them, or to, you know.
It's Eddie Izzard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love me some Eddie Izzard. Beautiful stuff.
Well, you missed it, but this is some Irish gross poet shit that
I love it. I
metamorphosized into a young hero with golden hair. You know, I think partly this is also like, you know, when you're doing these gender changes, right? There's always this kind of magical performance going on, and there is that kind of flipping of the poles. What does the satirist do? Is they flip your expectations. If the man turns out to be a woman, or vice versa, it's such a confrontation. It makes you question reality, you know, and there's power in that.
I was going to say, Snappy, when you were talking about it, it reminds me of a lot of modern drag that I've been able to see, where, you know, the idea isn't necessarily it's to be campy. It's to be a parody of this hyper feminine visage, but it's done with so much like tackiness that it's grotesque.
Absolutely, right. It's often a form of the grotesque, and it's often, you know, it's a form of empowering in being ridiculous. Oftentimes you'll see with satirists and with fools, they take on the garb of the lower people of society. So they would be women, or they would be cripples, right? We have a couple female cripple fools, throughout history. So it gets really wild. Or like the famous dwarf of Lucian. you know,
Well,
but like,
it also reminds me of I don't know if it was two bread and circuses or two gluten-free bread and circuses ago, but y'all were talking about the stage play that one of the gospels was based off of, where you had the dwarf with the huge phallus that would come out and I don't know, do cartwheels, and then you started talking about the wheel within a wheel.
Yeah, that's one of those things that people don't realize, is that a lot of these comedic plays were done by duos, right? They were comedic duos, and a lot of the time, like the way that you got a gig at one of these festivals was playing, you know, uh, like Dionysus and his satyr. You know what I mean? You came as a package deal, and uh, Jesus and the dwarf, right? That was in the cemetery, the dwarf in the garden, the dwarf in
Mhm.
the tomb, right? That's one of those recurring things that you see throughout these comedies, is dwarves being used as comedic relief because of the juxtaposition of the size of their bodies and the size of their phallus. You know what I mean? That's why you see Priapus in the garden with the massive phallus, and that's why all of this comes back to these phallic rituals of dancing around. Like a dwarf with a massive dong wouldn't have made the Greeks squeamish at all in any way. Like they would have laughed their asses off, and then expected to see that character two more times in these comedies. And then guess what? That dwarf comes back in the garden with something wrapped around the dong, and it falls off, and then he runs away into the woods,
Chekhov's
right?
dog. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
there's actual pottery that you can find that has this stage play being played out from other contexts, and it's called an infibulation. It's called a dog tie, where they would wrap a piece of leather around the penis to cover the gland, right? Because exposing the gland was seen as what it was seen as kind of gross to them for whatever reasons. So there's actual like imagery on pottery, and a lot of these potteries, like these pieces of pottery, were actual like when you go to the gift shop and you buy something that had like a painting of a particular scene, right? They would literally take, yeah, that's the one. They would literally take and paint a scene from the play that was being performed at these festivals on the side of pottery, and people would buy them and have them as collectibles and like bring them back to their houses and stuff like that. So we actually have pottery that has infibulated dwarves with Dionysian figures painted on them, right? Like it's crazy. So like, and the threes is one of those things that you would expect in a comedic form, right? So the infibulated dwarf is expected in the middle, right? That thing falls off, and then you see that same dwarf. The big reveal is in the tomb, and it's the fully clothed dwarf, and that's the person that Jesus tells to go around and tell the 10 cities, right? So one of the things that Snappy and I really bonded on early on was in Aristophanes' Frogs, that Aristophanes is actually not the main character. Xanthias, the sidekick, is the main character, right?
Agreed.
So that's how it's one of those things that we know we have these comedic duos, is that you have Dionysus and Xanthias, right? And they would go around traveling and performing various characters in these kind of same situations, right? I sort of got a little lost as to exactly where I was taking that, but
Over there.
the main character on the stage was actually the person who performed and gave the directions and instructions and stuff. And this person oftentimes broke the fourth wall, right? We're not getting there yet.
I'm just.
So you're preparing?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
There's no way to prepare.
There's no way to prepare.
That's fucking stupid.
More
Is the book
computers.
going to be gone?
No,
Because we were going to go to the book next.
Okay.
We're going back to the book. I'm saying that's at the end of the show.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Where I'm giving you instructions for what's going to happen in a half an hour, not at the moment.
Got it.
Past, present, future
Can I
simultaneously.
pee?
Yes, go drain the lid.
No, you can't pee till
You
next
cannot
week.
pee.
I cannot pee.
cannot
Not
pee.
allowed to pee.
Oh wait, now you can pee.
Scobie one is draining the lizard. I just want to take a moment to remind everybody do that YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, throw Cerberus in the comment. I keep doing this thing where I click on the StreamYard stream screen and not the actual book over here. I'm sorry that I was draining my lizard and I totally sort of missed this entire passage, this entire reading. But anybody have any thoughts on the reading? Any thoughts on the revelations on the gold and the gospel of the gold that was revealed to us and provided for us by the muse? Any thoughts on gold? My favorite wrestler was Gold Dust. I think Gold Dust was the most satirical, professional wrestler character.
You think there could be any agricultural references in this? Gold points on the teeth, greener than holly at the base, black speckled.
They're talking all about his teeth, how gross they were.
Well, I mean, yeah, but things can be two things. Things can be
Oh,
three
of
things.
course. They can be 5 things.
And then they turn bright gold yellow.
What was the saying
In a later
earlier? The opportunities are endless. The
permutations.
Permutations are
are
endless.
boundless. I think
The perms.
The perms.
Perms.
Hang on, let's do that again. The permutations are boundless.
Perms, yeah. Endless.
Nice, nailed it. I think did we make a clip or did we do a clip? Oh no, is everybody off the screen? I'm fucking up. There we are. Look at us. Skobie One went and drained the lizard, and I was taking notes. That's why I was pausing and going, "How do I do that?" When you go and take a piss because you're drinking beer and you're gonna have to piss. I know you, Skobakis One. That's part of the symposiums.
Hey.
So, it's funny that I've decided on gold because, when you think of gold, you think of something like top tier, and then the passage that was brought up was basically describing how disgusting somebody's teeth were. They're using, an adjective that's normally, we're describing something beautiful, something bright and shiny, and gold as in, decaying teeth.
You don't think an ugly person can be beautiful?
Oh, of course they can be beautiful, but decaying teeth.
Most beautiful, ugly sage in all of Ireland, right there.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, you can always find beauty in ugliness. Yeah, no, I'm a firm believer in that. But just the, I guess, that description of something, I wouldn't like that person's breath, I can tell you that much.
Oh, probably not, no.
Yeah. Gold is...
Too much coffee.
I've got a nose button, but that's a little bit of nose for you right there. You know what I mean? And it's implied nose-noses because you understood how that person's breath smelled.
Mm-hmm.
But the text didn't tell you that. The text didn't tell you that. The image that the text provided for you told you that, right?
Exactly. Exactly. My mind knows.
Word magic, dude. Your mind knows. Your brain knows. You have nose-noses based off the description of that person's teeth.
I use nose-noses all the time.
Do you feel lighter?
Yes, sir.
You feel like a new...
I drained the newt. Yep.
Okay, you drained
Kind of going back to what Billy was
drained the
saying
put
about
that
the
on a
gold in the mouth. I think it's pretty appropriate that a lot of these traditions were oral traditions, and although they're talking about something kind of vile, such as their breath and the state of their teeth, the value comes from that same space of filth. That same space of honesty and the ability to recite, these curses and these praises.
we also got to remember a big aspect of this kind of a Dionysian, that Dionysian tradition, right? You're seeing, and in the Greek tradition, right? Empedocles, love and strife are apparent in everything. Anything that is beautiful is also ugly. It's all about it's all about where you look, and the power of the satirist is in the ability to flip the pole, to take what is beautiful and expose it as ugly, or vice versa, right? To dethrone the king, right?
Hell yeah, I love it. We want to pick another page. Who are we on to next? We just did Billy Witchdock. Let's go back to Sirius. You want to flip to a page? What page is the muse delivering to you at the moment? What are you feeling?
24, 25. That makes 49. Go to 49.
Let's take a look at what page 49 has to say. That's just.
Well, nah, that's 42.
Click that button there. There you go.
No, but it's doing gold. Where's the
We're at 40.
Just click the X in the corner there, Skobie. In the far right corner, there's a little X. Click that.
We're at page 42 right now.
49?
49.
49.
Ooh, there we go. Let's take a look at what's
fancy.
Totem and Taboo in retrospect.
Chapter 11.
Fun.
That sounds fun. Chapter 11.
Chapter 2.
What? I'm joking.
Oh.
Johnny,
The original of ancient customs.
Did you get the joke?
Imlock,
I was hoping you were going to laugh. How did that not make you
commonly
laugh?
unknown, for the practice often continues when the cause has ceased.
Everybody heard you say you thought it was
And for concerning superstitious ceremonies, it is vain to conjecture. For what reason did not dictate reason, cannot explain. Samuel Johnson. Magic, ritual, myth. On the basis of the material presented thus far, we can make some generalizations about the function of satire in its primordial form. In what follows, I adapt certain ideas of Freud and of Jane Harrison, principally in an effort to account theoretically for the origin of magical satire and its complex development. Much of the material is hypothetical, as it must be. In speculative studies like this, proof is impossible. The best one can hope to approximate is the kind of ambiguous truth, or better, adequacy. A little bit up. With which scientists are content as they construct models of atomic and subatomic behavior. The models do not describe reality. They are not even capable of being true. For they are not necessarily incommensurate with what they purport to describe. They are merely tools of thought. But the models may be adequate in that they have a heuristic and a valuable function. The formulations that follow may be looked at in the same way. Freud's speculation that in totem and taboo are notoriously unhistorical. But even so, historically minded an anthropologist as A. L. Kroeber recognizes their potential for deepening our understanding of the nature of culture. Freud's ideas, and of Jane Harrison, F. M. Cornfield, and others, applied to the origin and development of satire, will not even in a
Have you guys read Totem and Taboo?
Only excerpts, never in full.
I've never sat down and read it cover to cover.
1939.
I've never been too big in early psychology, other than some history.
I never really loved psychology, very much at all.
Well, it sounds like it's got a religious.
Freud's really fun to misquote.
Yeah.
Freud gets a really, really bad rap, but I read one really interesting book I read is by the poet H.D. She was an actual student of Freud and one of his early patients, and she actually loved Freud and talks about how he was pretty progressive for his time and really, really kind to her. And it was actually Jung who was kind of the misogynistic ass, which is usually not how things get depicted, you know. So interesting stuff. This was kind of a wild quote, though, in general, right? Because we're getting into this idea of like, how do you talk about something that's primordially human? How do you talk about something that comes out of those ancient depths? Like, do you just say it's like ancient African human shit? Like, you know, like, right? So forming this kind of heuristic idea is essential when we're dealing with this kind of stuff. And we can reckon, like, Mandy, you and I, we talked about this a lot. It's like, satire to me in its most primal essence is, you know, it's rap battle. It's people trying to aggrandize the self and shame another, trying to get people to join the party, you know, and that is just so human, right?
Grandpa Lelo, what are your thoughts?
I got nothing. I got sucked into a thought process when we mentioned Jung, and I was like, wait, is he the phenomenology guy? And then I went down a rabbit hole about how that book makes absolutely no sense. That's where I'm
holes.
At. Yeah,
I
rabbits.
do so love rabbit holes.
I'll stare.
Rabbit holes.
You gotta you know, not reach too far in too quickly because something will bite you on the other end.
I mean, that's good for catfish.
Only if you use your left hand.
Noodling.
If you use the right hand, then it's okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that that's what they teach you in school down there?
No. That's just what they teach you, like, not in school.
That's how you noodle.
We don't have schools down here, man.
You only use
That's
your
common
they
knowledge.
cut our
use your
funding.
left hand because you have to write with your right hand. If you're gonna lose it to a catfish, you know, you're gonna use your left hand.
The rabbits have become catfish. I love how they.
You said noodling.
Rabbit
Who said
fish.
noodling? Somebody said noodling.
Yeah, the rabbits have become catfish. Now we're in a rabbit hole. We're in a catfish rabbit hole. Skobie, what are your thoughts?
We're
thoughts are,
spiraling
like,
down
I'd have
the
to
toilet
read like 5
yet
chapters
again.
ahead of this. Like this, I don't know what the hell they're talking about at all.
Okay, that's your thoughts.
Those are your thoughts.
My thoughts are there's like 5 words I have to look up before I even read this again.
All this paragraph is doing is setting up.
In consumer, I don't even know how to say the word. I have to look that word up. Like, I don't know. My God, in heuristic, I have to look that one up. There's a lot of words I have to look up before I can read this
What about
again.
that word right there?
Freud?
Right? No, above it. 2 lines above it. One word to the right. No, next word. No, before that.
Oh God, you're getting me.
historically minded?
Yes.
I highlighted that one already.
No, not that one. Not historically minded. The one you just had highlighted.
So.
A needle pulling thread.
So a needle pulling thread. There's no does. I already tried to look. There's a boo.
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 What a boo.
Talking about Freud's totem.
Freud's totem.
There you go.
Sometimes a cock isn't a cock.
Sometimes.
Oh, I got something for you to search, Mandy. We should search so we can get some more great mother magic. Search phallus.
Oh, let's see what they have. That's not with an F, Johnny.
That's not how you spell phallus.
Listen, guys.
I love this show.
It's a good thing I don't know how to spell phallus, all right? I'm pretty sure.
Okay, that's respectable. You've never had to spell phallus in your
Ever in
entire
my life.
You're
Ever.
about to turn 40 years old and
In 2
never
weeks.
spelled the word phallus.
Never. No. We could do dick.
Can you spell Tumesha?
No,
It
it's
specifically
dick
has
will
to be
not
the word
come up.
phallus. Somebody help Skobie One spell the word phallus.
LLUS.
Just
Yeah,
wrap
you're
your
almost
mouth
there.
around the letter.
There's 2 L's?
Yes.
2 L's, bro. They dangle just a little bit.
You got one.
Listen, guys, I've never typed
Oh, but it
this word
says
out
it
in my life.
twice.
Ooh, nice.
You get a
Double
twofer. Double
You
phallus.
gotta pay extra for that.
Oh my god.
Is this what people think you're bullying me?
Yes,
Is this
dude.
you bullying me
You
right
just
now?
bullied yourself.
I don't
this
give
was
a fuck.
beautiful, dude.
It's not bullying.
Oh
I don't know
God.
what.
I'm so happy that just happened.
Oh gosh.
Oh god, the guy doesn't know how to spell phallus. He's never looked up phallus in his life.
Johnny,
Yes,
I'm just
I've
saying
never.
that
I don't know what you're talking
the
about.
beautiful like,
Potency.
There's
Oh,
2 L's. That's
man.
new to me.
phallus and the word potency at the same time. Oh, let's go.
So you read this one then. I think you should read it.
No.
No, you should.
No, that's not how the show works.
No.
Snappy, do you want to take it from the
Sure.
top?
The entire rite
Start
is
from the
magical. Its
Oh,
purpose was to stimulate fertility, the sacred energy of life. Its method was to coerce by magical means the responsible spirits or powers. The ceremonial had 2 aspects, as it were: the invocation of good influences through the magic potency of the phallus, the expulsion of evil influences through the magical potency of abuse. Right? So that's really important because now we're getting into 2 major aspects of magic. Curse magic is all about the hurling of invective, of yelling and invoking rage in order to cause an action, right? And now you're combining this with the phallus, which is that source of fertile power, right? It's the source of fertile power, you know? So the phallus itself is no less a negative charm against evil spirits than a positive agent of fertilization, writes Conford. But the simplest of all methods of expelling malign influences of any kind is to abuse them with the most violent of language. So in these rites, you're making the grove sacred and you're making the earth fertile at the same time. You're throwing the party, you're throwing an orgy to make the great mother come, but you're also kicking out all of the evil spirits. You're setting the boundary, you're chastising those who don't participate, right?
Snappy, take a look at this footnote number 4 here.
From Comfort, page 4.
Regular choral matches in abuse were apparently connected with certain of the ceremonies. An analog to these practices may be found in ancient India. Professor A. Berrydale, Keith, discussing the elements out of which the Sanskrit drama. Okay, interesting. But
I want to see where the rest of that footnote goes because it continues on the next page. It's one of those.
One of the things, though, that this book does get into in a big deal is what we see in the Arabic tradition. So it says,
take a look where it picks up.
Have developed describes a primitive dramatic ritual marked by the following ceremony. A Brahmin student and a hetera are introduced as engaged in coarse abuse of each other. And in the older form of the ritual, we actually find that sexual union as a fertility rite is permitted. Oh, they're talking. Okay, so this is actually a hijra. This is a hijra, and they're talking about the tantrika rites. So this is with, one of the 3rd genders that they have in India. And often, these 3rd gender people are sacred, holy vessels of the Great Mother and would be involved in a lot of these rites with the sadhus. So they're hurling and vindictives at each other. And then they're also engaging in lovemaking, right? Because again, essential to the Tantrika is the breaking of taboo, right? And it's the crossing of the thresholds, the breaking of the bounds of the law, The ritual purpose of this abuse is undeniable. It is aimed at producing fertility, right? So again, it's all about trying to make the earth more fertile. Yeah. That's where all this originates. Wild stuff.
The dancing around the pole, that rhythm was so that the pole fucks the earth.
That's the 4 on the floor, huh?
That's the 4 on the floor. It's that dancing around. That's where that all comes from, And
oh yeah, well we see this all over, and a lot is made. Why do you go on the mountain? Because the mountain is a big phallus, right? And you're trying to make the earth come, right? In order to produce the fresh shoots of spring. Right? And you have an orgy in order to imitate the spring, right? And this is just like primordial human stuff. Really, really wild. But going back to the hurling of vindictive and the chastising of people, this reminds me of another part of the book where they talk about the Arabic tradition, which was so wild because in the Arabic tradition, in the pre-Muhammad era, what they used to do if you went to like pagan Mecca is they would have these battles, poetry battles between tribes in order to determine who got to put their idols in the Kaaba. And so if you won, you got your idols put inside the Kaaba, and then they would put your poetry, they would drape it over the Kaaba. And we see this to this day. One of the reasons or one of the proofs of Muhammad's magical power of being blessed by Allah was that his poetry won. It won at these rites and it beat everyone else. It was seen as the greatest of Arabic poetry. Now, that is very debatable from a scholarly standpoint, but this is what the tradition insists, is that, the word of God came and it defeated all the other poets, and now it stays on the Kaaba forever, right? But yeah, there's all this cool stuff.
That's where you get the golden fleece from Jason and the Argonauts. It's the same story over and over and over and over and over. It's what language was written on that sheepskin. Like what color was it dyed? Like it depends on the culture. It depends on
you got to draw down the moon, guys. You gotta make it more you got to bring that light into the earth, because when you bring the light into the earth, that's how you fertilize the earth and make the shoots of spring come up. That's how you make the grass grow. Right.
And one of the most important things about the mysteries and these rituals is that you have to make Demeter laugh again. If you don't make Demeter laugh, you stop halfway.
You stop halfway. You got to make exactly. That's why you got Iambi. That's why you got Bubo.
Yes.
And Iambi tells jokes, right? And Bubo literally flashes her vulva.
And she reveals inside, like what she does the Ace Ventura with the butt cheeks, but she uses the front butt, and the divine child within her uses their butt to tell a joke, right? It's about, like, there's layers on this joke, and it's the divine child telling the joke that makes Demeter laugh. What reveals the potentiality for telling the joke, for the making of Demeter laughing, is the revealing. The what's the Greek word for revealing?
I don't know how to speak Greek.
You couldn't spell
Come on,
phallus.
Yeah, exactly. Come on.
The truth, to quote Friedrich Nietzsche, is a woman.
He's German.
And her name is Balbo. Yes. Truth is a woman, and her name is Balbo. And what Balbo did was make Demeter laugh again. And if you do not make Demeter laugh in these rites, you only go halfway. And only going halfway is not going to satisfy the Great Mother.
And
because the Great Mother, you got to go all the way.
You have to go all the way. The Great Mother, as everybody knows, is a size queen. Mm-hmm. You can't go halfway.
That's why
and
the
satisfy the
are so
Great
tall.
Mother. Yes.
But like we see this like in Macrobius, the Saturnalia, right? The aspects of the sun, dying in the rising sun, and the Cori represents the sun. The same with Dionysus, and when the sun goes into the underworld, you call it back up, right? So this is how, and the sun has to go into the underworld. It has to, for that love making has to happen in order for the birth of the spring to happen, right? For the child to arise, which is Plutus, which means the agricultural abundance, the wealth of the earth. Or sometimes, it's Iaki, right? The child, or Hippocrates, which is that disabled and lame child, the daughter or the son of Isis. And that is talking about how, we're trapped in the physical, right? And we have to ascend to the ideal. But yeah, wild stuff.
Let me ask you all this. Does anybody have a half decent French? Can anybody know the couple French words? Anybody?
I know two.
I'm Canadian. My last name is
Snappy. I was setting you up because I know you know this one. The French word for orgasm.
Oh, what is
Le petit mort.
Le petit mort.
Le petit mort.
Yeah.
Petit mort. Yes, it's the little death. The little death. The tiny little guy. The little death. Yeah, it's important. It's a little death. It's not a big one. It's the little one. Right? Like, it's important.
If you die before you die, you don't die.
When you die.
Yeah.
right.
It helps you go behind the veil.
Yes. And
Yes, it
reveal
does.
the toilet behind the fourth wall. So we're getting into the last 5 minutes. I would like anybody have anything that we would like to plug, because I have a way that we would like to end the show today.
I just want to
so
point
I'm
out
gonna-
one funny thing that Tiger
Okay.
Shark said. He brought up Priapus, which is, of course, the god of fertility, who has the massive dongs that you would see at people's. You'd also get the Herms at crossroads with the massive dongs. But one of the things that people don't talk about are the buboes that you would get with the massive gaping vulvas. And you used to have these at people's doors too. So you would have them both. You'd have a woman with her vulva exposed, and you'd have a man with a giant penis. And these would ward off the spirits, the evil spirits.
That's how I get the neighbor kids to get out of my lawn.
Right? We need to bring back the gnomes with giant phalluses, I think, like the little red caps and the, big dongs. Have a few with some gaping vulvas,
Make Demeter laugh again. I'm running for president. If I could, Snappy, I would love to have you as my vice president, but it's against the law. But I am of the legal age to run for president, and my motto, it will be make Demeter laugh again. And I think we can not only just unite the country, we can reunite the world on that motto. We just need to preach this message, until the next, 3 years, until I can actually run and, platform
It's
myself.
a real slippery slope, but I think you can do it.
It is a slippery slope. Snappy, if we can't figure out the citizenship situation to make you vice president, I will run as my vice president. Mervyn.
I don't subjugate or serve, Mandy. Sorry, this anarchist.
Okay, then I understand, and I will offer the position to the guy with the boot.
Me?
The guy with the boot.
The guy with the boot?
You remember the guy with the boot?
No.
Vermin Supreme.
Oh, Vermin
Damn,
Supreme.
I was trying to see if Johnny was going to say it.
Yeah.
I was seeing if Johnny... Yeah, but anyway.
Listen,
I was trying to whisper in his ear, but he has the headphones on, so it wasn't actually his ear. See, I'm being ironic. I would formally like to present the opportunity to run as president and vice president with Vermin Supreme. We're running on the motto of make Demeter laugh again. Billy Witch Doctor, Sirius, Grandpa Leather, thank you. Yeah, we're gonna end with that one. Thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. Do you have any thing you would like to say to the audience before we close it out? And Snappy, we would like to have you do a quick reading from the Towel of Minerva to close it out.
Sounds good.
Okay, great. Billy Witch Doctor, how are you doing, bud? Thank you for hanging out. Any last words?
Don't try any of my cocktails.
Are you sure? Because that bone broth one sounded really good. I really thought.
Maybe that one. Maybe that one.
Grandpa Leather, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, everything I've got to plug can be seen on OnlyFans.
Got a Priapus statue on there?
Oh, that was beautiful. I love that. Sirius, any closing thoughts, man? Thank you for being here. The satirical miracle. We love having you.
Absolutely. I just need what?
Thank you so much. Just to sort of do the fourth wall break and to at the very end do the cup and balls trick and kind of reveal how all of us know each other. Billy Witch Doctor and Grandpa Leather and I have been in a band since like the year 2002 for a very, very, very long time. And I wrote about, our origin story in The Towel of Minerva, and I would love to have Snappy, close it out by doing a reading of our origin story and, doing the fourth wall reveal here and everything. And then we're going to play the demo and we're going to say goodnight. And thanks everybody for being here. Snappy, before the reading, any closing thoughts, anything you want to say, as we're going to end it here in a bit.
Life is beautiful. Make the meter laugh. And Skobie, could you zoom in a bit on that?
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out where the hell it went. Sorry.
No worries.
It's somewhere.
What? Is it on the screen?
There it is.
Can you guys see it? Is it on the screen? Can they see it? What did you just do?
Nothing.
So anyway, the ultimate lore of the book. Can you put everybody on the screen? All of us.
Yes.
All of us at the same time. Yes. So we can all see.
There it is.
There we go.
Bum.
Wonderful.
The cup and ball
zoom
trick.
in. So what is that you have in there?
The cup and ball strip.
It's from when we used to cup balls together.
Wow, look at you. Oh my God, you still have that?
Yeah, it still has bloodstains on it too.
Bro,
Oh my God, so
I've seen too much of your body in that.
wow. So
Does it still smell the same?
how does it smell these days?
Yeah.
Butterscotch.
Butters.
That's amazing. Wow. Do you still have the Gorilla Man thong?
So no, that was 2007. I gave it to Zach, and he took it on the road, and that's the last I know of it.
Oh man, that ended up under a couch somewhere.
Oh, definitely.
So those of you who don't know that are not in on the joke, what Grandpa Leather has in his hand is a sequin rainbow man thong that he would wear when we would perform on stage. We're a band. We're called Frank, FRVNK. We've been around for a very, very, very long time, and we invented Rick rolling as a band, together as a collective, and we have been. We haven't gotten our flowers. That's a Persephone joke. So what we kind of want to do is to get our flowers as a band, as a authentic New England, Connecticut hardcore band. Blood for Blood is also a Connecticut hardcore band now. Speaking of hardcore,
baby.
And in the context of all of this, rest in peace, Bill from Harm's Way. That's we'll pour one out for you, bud. So anyway. Snappy, anything you want to say to the audience before we get into this reading, and then we're gonna play our demo and all listen to some music and all of that.
No, I think let's do it.
All right, Snappy. Without any further ado, you're gonna tell the origin story of how Rick rolling was invented.
Right. Arcturus did not invent Rick rolling. Frank inventing Rick rolling. One winter day, Grandpa Leather, Billy Witch Doctor, and Mandy were conducting the normal songwriting ritual where we all write our individual parts on the toilet in Mandy's parents' basement. The ritual goes as such. The three of us punch each other in the face at the same time. The first to bleed is the last to poop. The last bleeder poops first. The first pooper writes their section in the time it takes them to poop. Upon completion of pooping, the first pooper must not flush. Pooper 1 plays their part repeatedly to encourage the muse to present herself to Pooper number 2. Upon completion, Pooper number 2 must
scroll up.
Oh, sorry.
I
got lost.
Must not flush and join Pooper number 1. Pooper number 3 must then complete the ritual by writing their part by pooping on the poop of Pooper number 1 and Pooper number 2. Upon completion, all three Pooper then flush the triad together and play the song start to finish. But what does that have to do with Rick rolling? After the ritual, Grandpa Leather took a break to commune with the iguana ducks. He combed through Mandy's CD collection to find some tunes to set the moon. When he selected what he thought was Whenever You Need Somebody, the 1987 debut studio album by Rick Astley, it was in fact not Whenever You Need Somebody, the 1987 debut album by Rick Astley. What Grandpa Leather had unknowingly selected for his communion was the Iguana Ducks, was in fact 25 to Life's 1993 demo featuring singer Rick to Life. For those with ears to hear, see this as a classic Rick roll based on the name Rick. Convinced that he is the only person on the planet who has actually listened to more than 60 seconds of 25 to Life, Rick Rolling was born. Frank then traveled around the country with CDs and cassette tapes featuring 60 seconds of 25 to Life, followed by Never Gonna Give You Up. These prank tapes were left at hardcore shows all over the United States, including Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, and Guam between the years of 2001 and 2021. Still to this day, there is no mention of anyone ever finding and actually playing one of the tapes for more than 60 seconds, revealing the prank, thus proving Grandpa Labrador to be the only person on the planet to have listened to more than 60 seconds of 25 to Life. I mean, okay, to understand just the level of ridiculousness with this joke, go search 25 to Life live and just be absolutely disgusted at Rick to Life's vocals. Possibly the worst singer in all of hardcore music. Not to mention an actual fucking Nazi. Like just a totally ridiculous human being, you know?
And it's a true story. The iguana ducks. Grandpa Leather. The iguana ducks.
The iguana ducks, though.
The iguana ducks.
Did you guys actually take the time to make burnt CDs with Rick Astley and 25 to Life split in?
Yes, this is the true story.
We also did a spin-off with when we were taping them, we put them on answering machine tapes, and we would go to different Goodwills that had answering machines, and we would stick the little answering machine tapes with the 25 to Life Rick Astley Rickroll tapes in the answering machines. So not only were they at hardcore shows, but Goodwills all across the nation.
That's beautiful.
Oh man.
Oh man. If you
Will you marry me?
If you were in the bathroom at the LNG between the years of 2001 and 2007, you may have gotten your hands on one of these tapes. And most people didn't have cassette tapes at the time, so they didn't put it in their player, and they missed the joke entirely. And it took until the Macy's Day Parade to take the joke. They did my joke on the Macy's Day Parade, and it came from a communion with the iguana ducks, and that is, the truly esoteric meaning to why we talk about the frogs and the chickens and the dogs, right?
Because what are frogs but iguana ducks?
They're just iguana ducks. The frogs are the iguana ducks, and you weren't there in that cemetery. Everybody,
but Jesus and the little boy were.
Everybody, I'm going to say good night. Thank you all for being here. Without any further ado, we're going to end the night with the Frank demo, so y'all can hear this.
this man came up to me, and he's like, aren't you upset and unhappy with the way that you're living your life? And I just looked at him and said, sister, I'm living my life with no regrets. No regrets of the places that I've been. All my faces I won't forget. Don't try to understand us. You never get it. You can't break me. You can't break us down. I love my friends like they are my fucking family. Together we will stand strong, proud and true. Don't try to understand us. You won't get through. You can't break us down. Who I am, proud of who my friends are. I'm proud of what we've done, and I'm proud of where we're going. No regrets, no regrets, no regrets, no regrets, and I'm living life to the fullest. Living my life like I got no regrets of the places that I've been. On the faces I won't forget. Don't try to understand us. You won't ever get it. You can't break me. You can't break us down. Fuck you!
Like a mighty, mighty boss tones show up there.
You're muted, Mandy. You're muted.
I'm unmuted. All right, everybody. I want to say good night. Remember to make Demeter laugh again. Thank you for watching Gluten-Free Bread and Circus, and you have just obtained Nose Gnosis. And then you roll the outro. And then you roll the outro.
Gluten-free bread and circus, known to be hella circus. Dwelling creatures, phone out speakers, emblems, talisman, callous hands. I ain't friends with them. I ain't friends with them.